welcome into the Two for Talking first post-game show. I'm your host, Cory. I've got Joe Bartnick here. Josh Yo, he usually is with us, but he's doing his real job at the moment, isn't he, Joe?
Yeah, he's doing his real job. I'm actually not doing my real job on a Friday night. That's why I'm able to come in and chat. I'm actually in Pittsburgh. Going to check out some games next week. We got some Penguin stuff going on, and so I'm here and enjoying the hell out of myself, sitting at my parents' house. They just went on a cruise, so I'm kind of dog sitting, but they don't have a dog anymore, so I get the whole house to myself. And surprise, surprise, surprise! 4-2 Penguins. Who knew that was going to happen, Cory?
I did not. I will tell you that much. Especially, I mean, they still jumped out to the 2-0 lead, and I'm like, oh, okay, like, hey, look at this. Erik Karlsson figured out how to do at least something positive, and then he burped it right back to them. So I thought, I mean, that second period was dreadful. So I thought, there's no chance we're gonna have any gas in the third.
No, I mean, we can get to the third in a minute. But first of all, I mean, we've blown 4-2 leads. It's not even Halloween. It's not even Thanksgiving, Cory. How do you blow 4-2 leads? And we've blown, I believe, 8. I think Bob Grove had 6 2-goal leads and 4-2 leads. So that's I always say, you've heard me now, teams that can't get the puck out stink. I said it for 30 years. And teams, my other thing, I always, teams that are bad in the second period are bad teams. The Penguins, I forget what the stat was. They were like the 17-8 goal differential in second periods. Never a good sign, because basically you get exposed on long changes. You know that as a hockey player in the second.
Yes. Yeah. A bad hockey team. I mean, we might be that. But then I started keeping track at the beginning. I'm like, oh, I saw Ryan Graves, miss a wide open pass to get the puck out of the zone. I'm like, I wonder how many of these he's gonna have, and I stopped keeping track because I didn't want to embarrass him. We just have a hard time. I mean, Grzelcyk, having a hard time getting the puck out of the zone. I don't know. I mean, it's just that kind of.
I didn't see a lot of St. Ivany tonight. I would like to see him more. It literally seemed like Karlsson played the whole game.
Which I don't know if it was a good thing.
No, I think it was a terrible thing. I mean, he owes Bloomqvist at least $3 million of that $11 million this year. How many saves did Bloomqvist make that Karlsson was? Karlsson looked like me playing with the Jagoffs over Robert Morris. I mean, he was spinning around. He was on his stomach. He was. The one time he gave the puck away behind the net. I marked it down like, oh, that's going to be in the back of the net. Somehow it didn't happen. I mean, he did get us 2 goals. But I mean, I know when people want to say I'm I'm an a-hole. I don't see how it can be. We can't put him on the wing on a third line because he doesn't play. He can't play defense.
No. He can't play defense. I tweeted out during the game. I said he looks like a forward that got put on defense for the first time in his life when he's trying to figure out how to play defense. Like the way that 2-on-1, the way he defended, if you want to call it that. I don't think he really knows what he's doing, but he knows what he's doing. Maybe he just doesn't care. I don't know.
I don't understand how somebody who he's been in the league, let's say 12 years. I think like 15, but let's say 12.
Yeah.
And just been to that many NHL practices. How do you not know what to do with a 2-on-1 by now?
And it's consistent. Like, keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like it's nonstop. It's like it's almost like that's his default. It's like, oh well, like if I got a 2-on-1 against Karlsson, I know I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get a shot off. I'm just gonna pass it.
But he doesn't have a system. Like sometimes on a 2-on-1, the guy goes straight to the guy, takes out the guy with the puck. Okay, pass comes over, and it's 1-on-1 with the goalie. Sometimes the guys take the pass away. He does nothing. he just kind of looks around like, "Oh, this is terrible. Oh, what did I do wrong?"
Yeah, yeah, and to get to, like, the technical side, I mean, it's like you watch the really good ones take away 2-on-1s, they kind of, like, create like a funnel to the near side post, where they're like they know the players are gonna keep coming closer, they're just gonna take away the pass until the last possible minute, and then you make the play. Um, and he's like he was skating forwards, like he was skating forward with the guy, like it was a rush that he was a part of.
He gives up. He gives up like at the blue line. Like
He's like,
he just kind of gives up. Uh,
well, did
it,
you
it,
notice how they were that turnover I think you were talking about? I know exactly. I made them a note about the same one when that was during the ESPN was doing the rush thing, which by the way, I love. Like I love Steve Levy, but I love hearing nothing but the noise of the
right.
game.
Yeah.
And 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 what's his name? Ray Ferraro was like almost exploded. He said he's like, I almost came out and said something during that turnover because it was just like, oh my God. Like, but anyways, I mean, what did you think of the first period? And by the way, that we see you guys watching, listening on the Twitter sphere and on in YouTube. If you want to join, I think there is a way to join. You should be able to click a link. But if you post a comment wherever you're watching, we'll be able to see it and we can share it up on the screen. And then this is our first time doing it, so bear with us.
Oh,
And
that's
you'll
great.
be
I appreciate and love everyone watching. Yeah,
yeah,
and let's it's not a night to knock Carlson. It's a
no,
night to
yeah,
celebrate 2 points.
2 points.
It's a night to celebrate the Rusty Razor comes back, gets the key apple
Oh,
on Gino. And why I was 2 minutes late setting this up was I had to watch Malkin being interviewed by Emily Kaplan, the lady of 1,000 hairstyles. I, I love her. She looks different every game. She has a different hairdo, but no here nor there. And I love Stevie and I love Chicken Parm. They do such a great job. But Gino has played remarkable this year, and he got rewarded tonight. A goal and an apple on Ovechkin versus Sid night.
yeah, yeah, I know. And Gino looked great. I mean, again, when he scored that goal, all I could think about is he really has been our best player. And where would we be without him? I mean, God, like we'd probably have our second win, 2 wins at this point.
But I like the
Um,
lines now. I'm not the biggest
yep,
Bunning fan. I would have liked to have seen Pugliarvi get a shot there, or in real wishful thinking, McGroarty, who's not even playing top minutes at Wilkes-Barre, so we can end that debate.
yeah,
But I would like maybe Glass. I mean, something a little bigger than Bunning, but if Bunning's going to score and get involved, that's great. I was so happy he split up the guys though, because it got a little bit like, okay, we're just going to put the best defenders against. We're going to put Wilson's line, Wilson and Puke, and the other guys, McMichael. They're big guys, and then you put your best defenseman, and then then it's going to be a tough physical game. This way, you split them up. Obviously, it's hockey 101. Then at least they're on the ice for 60% of the game as opposed to 33% of the game. One of the
yeah,
two big guys, and it makes a
yep,
huge difference.
huge
When
difference.
Gino's rolling, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, I mean, because in the first period, every time they were on the ice, they dominated. But the rest of the time, except for the one shift that the fourth line drew a good penalty, they had a little bit of jump. But other than that, the rest of the period, I was like, they're just kind of holding serve. And I wanted to ask you and made a note of it.
You're a young man, Corey. It reminds you of the 80s.
Is that what the 80s were like?
When Mario's not on the ice, go take a piss. Go get a beer. You can hug your girlfriend. Okay, Mario's back on the ice. Okay, yeah. We're just waiting. We're just waiting for 66, and it was just waiting for the two-headed monster. Now you get a little more action. I don't know where you want to take this. You're our host and leader, captain.
Oh
But I was
yeah,
gonna take I was gonna take it here. Or go ahead.
go
Ask
for it.
me the question. Go ahead. You're in charge.
No, 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 no. Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, the question I wanted to ask you was were you surprised to see that Rusty was with Gino and not with Sid? Because I kind of thought that when that two-headed monster did get broken up, it was going to go to Rusty up on the top line.
Well, I think it was a smart move because, you even heard in the post game how Gino loves playing with Rusty. And I think you
Mhm.
kind of had to throw Gino a bone. He was playing really hard, and you can't. I think Raquel and Bunning is too much nonsense in Gino. I think I think you have to give Gino, even if Gino wants to play defense, and he's proven this year he does. He needs someone to help him play defense.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think you're just shorthanding. I think if you have Raquel and Gino and Bunting, I don't like where that goes in the third period. I think maybe even Monday or later in the future, if you want to have it, if you want to mix it up and have Rusty up there and Raquel up there, because you want to keep Raquel's numbers up for the trade deadline, maybe. But I think Gino and Rust, because Raquel is playing great with Sid. He thinks the game like Sid, and
mhm,
he's been getting in there and forechecking, getting his nose dirty. And I love O'Connor, so
yeah,
I think that was a proper move. Was
yeah.
I a little shocked? I was a little shocked, but I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, I think Sullivan coached a great game today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, making that call because honestly, I wouldn't have made that call, and it ended up being the game winner. It turned into the game winner, and I know you were probably smiling at the same thing I thought whenever you see Rusty on a forward with a little bit of a step. I was like, oh, I know this move. I know what move's coming. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
you know what it was funny is that Chicken Parm and Levy were saying even how bad Marcus Pedersen is. And to me, he's almost been as bad as Carlson because okay, Carlson's out of place, but why are you out of place, Marcus?
yeah,
Like you're supposed to be back. You don't
yeah.
have any. It's not like, hey, well, Eric Carlson's up there. I'm allowed. No, and he's laying down like a cheap hooker or falling down. He's everywhere now.
He has been a huge disappointment this year. And like I think one of you guys joked about it on a recent episode, saying like he's really hurting his or his trade stock for
Oh,
down
I said, who wants him now?
I mean, he actually was like one of the people that I started marking down a note every time he made a bad pass on an exit, you know, which is just like that's stuff you can't do as an NHL defenseman. Like I understand you might not always be able to put it right on the tape, but to make a pass that is uncatchable, I mean, come on, like it's he's having a hard time. And I wanted to. Did you notice the one shift on the power play? I think it was the first power play. It seemed to me that Pugliarvi was unable to stay on his skates. Like,
Yes, he seemed, and also he seemed like when Pusty took that horrible penalty, Pusty was in the wrong. I mean, Pugliarvi was in the wrong as well. He thought it was on him. They both could have went.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and I want to get to this early because I think some of our listeners, viewers may want to jump in on this. I think it's a good jumping point.
yeah, yeah.
I think Bloomquist is the best goaltender.
Oh
He
yeah,
looks better to me than Jari kind of ever did.
yeah. I actually thought at
You
one point
know, I
tonight I was like, that's what I want Tristan Jarry to be. Like,
yes,
like he's consistent, calm, cool, collected. Makes the right save.
and they got hey, they sucked last night. Okay, but Ned's allowed to make. He gave up 2 on 3 shots. I mean, Ned's allowed to make a save. I know he's a battler, and I'm always on his side. But I mean, tonight we got we got like 10 big saves, and I don't remember Jari ever making 10. Jari makes 10 big saves when we're already losing 5-2 or when we're winning 6-2. He doesn't
Yeah.
make big saves when it's 2-2.
Oh yeah. I mean, and I think sometimes with goalies they get a little out of their head. Like Jari is one that gets in his head, but um, that shot Ovechkin had towards the end of the game. I forget how many minutes were left, but Bloomquist just kind of like he took the angle away. He hugged the post and made sure like okay, I'll cover what I can and try and make the stop. And I don't know. I mean, that's just for a kid. How old is he? 22?
How many battle saves did he have?
Oh,
full extension with the leg, and he played on top of his crease.
yep.
What's funny is Dubas said this week that who knows what happens when everyone's back. There may be a trade. I think Nedeljkovic may be on the go.
It might be who you have to trade
Well, you're
'cause
not going to be able to trade Jari, in my
yeah,
opinion. I don't care
nobody
how many saves he makes in Binghamton
yeah,
on a Wednesday.
nobody wants Jari.
No, exactly. But even if he played better, that's a big matzo ball contract.
Yeah,
Even if he played as good as Nedeljkovic, no one would want him at that money. But
no,
Ned's decent. He's making easy money to move. That might be the move, and you might even have to sweeten it a little bit. But I I,
yeah,
I can't see how after like tonight you're going to send that kid down.
no, I don't see any way you do, and, like you said, I mean, Ned's allowed to make a save, like, you know, the Penguins got smoked last night, but, make a couple more. I just I hadn't thought about the Ned trade aspect, though. That might be the the way because you can't keep 3 goalies.
No, well, like the first goal was okay. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't. It was. It came down. It's one of those goal. It's one of those shots that Flurry would make the save 70% of that time. Like, oh, Flurry made the big save. Oh, we're in the game now, right?
Yep, yep,
Or he wouldn't, and he'd skate over to the bench. He'd skate over and swear at the wall, and then come back and then not let any up for a good period and a half. Now, I'm not saying we didn't get shelled, and
yeah,
Flurry and Dryden both in net couldn't have won that game. But I just think you can't give up 2 or 3.
no,
I mean, it's 2 or 3. Come on.
yeah. So, we talked about Carlson, we talked about the goaltending, which was great. What did you think of the 3rd and 4th line? Because, you know, I I don't I mean, Achari gets the empty netter, so I guess that buys him a little bit more time. I mean, he's been playing better, but, uh, the 4th line, other than drawing a penalty, I don't know, I felt like they just kind of I don't know if they had a huge impact, or
Well, they're
like
going to be improved if when because now Lars Eller will be a third liner.
yeah,
So that'll improve them. I mean, it'll crush my puck off partner Andy Picard for me to say. Um, I think they miss Kevin Hayes. I think they just look between Bunning getting patted on the head by Tommy Wilson. You got Lazat out there. Pusti's feisty, but that fourth line was Bolivier, Pusti, and Lazat. I mean, that's like a high school team
yeah,
as far as size. I mean, but if you get because Glass is on IR now, which is I Glass was playing okay. I'll take Rusty over Glass, but Glass is a big boy, and Hayes. That was 2 of our bigger guys that aren't there anymore. That's what I notice more how small they are. I think the first Lazat's playing. Hey, he's playing. Lazat's looked okay. He's been hustling. I think the first guy out's Beauvillier. When you get, I think Hayes is day to day. I Glass is IR, so Glass is out for a while. I guess nobody's ready to come up. I don't know. It seems like someone could fill in.
yeah,
They can move. I mean, I think Pusti's penalty. I'm a Pusti guy. I don't think you can play him next. I think he's got to sit next game. That
yeah. It was a
penalty.
pretty bad
That
penalty.
penalty's horrendous.
Yeah, yeah. There's one. I mean, Eller had the other penalty. It wasn't. What are you gonna do? Carlson slash. Oh, Carlson slash. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of that because that was a lazy play. But yeah, I agree with you. I think
I
Putin.
mean, I'll take Carlson's Carlson and Eller. You can't with literally, arguably the greatest goal scorer in the history of hockey sitting
Yeah,
there,
yeah. You
and
have to take that.
you're on the power play,
Yeah,
and you grab a guy's stick. That's not even an errant high stick. That's not, oh, his hand in the cookie jar. A guy stepped over a stick. He grabbed a guy's stick with his hand.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, how, how much dumber can you be? It's like there's no you can't there's no excuse for that. Like there's no, oh well, he stepped on the stick. Oh guys, got to no. He grabbed his stick with his hands
Grabbed it.
on the
The
power play. On the It wasn't like it's 5-on-5. Well, it's 5 minutes. Don't let the referees decide this game. Well, you just you have to call that.
Oh, did you see Sullivan's face afterwards?
No.
It's like he kinda had the Mike Johnston miffed look, but, it's just like, it was understandable.
Yeah.
Um, but, what was my other so what did you think of Ovechkin, to talk about the Caps a little bit? I mean,
I thought he played hard.
he
He
plays
hit
hard,
Sid.
but
He hit Sid. That was fun. I loved how Gino gave him the tap at the beginning of the game on the shins.
mhm,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
I thought he did a pretty good game. I mean, Lord knows he tried. I
yeah,
mean, Bloomfist ruined his evening.
yeah, and Drew O'Connor, how about Drew O'Connor with those blocks? I mean,
And Achari. Yeah.
that
It's
yeah,
funny. It's funny because I don't know. I'm not a hockey tactician or a guy who knows the game as a player and is been coached at a decent level at. So I don't know. But I don't know why you just don't do what they used to do to Mario in the '80s and just stand next to him. I don't know why you stand 10 feet from him so you make sure you get hit by the shot. Why don't you
yeah.
just stand next to him?
I think yeah,
you know, you know,
Rusty did that at one point, and he actually did, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, that's the old
as
Lemieux trick."
opposed to like, here, I'll stand here so I can be in the way of your cannon. But I'm happy for it. But I said this on Puck Off though. You know, the 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 Avs were hit by injuries, and Ross Colton stepped up and was on like an 8-game heater. He goes and blocks a shot. Now he's on the IR for a month. Like
Yeah,
what? When I was a kid, nobody blocked shots. If someone blocked a shot, it was like they got hit by accident,
yeah,
and they went
that's
after the
exactly
and they went after the guy. Like, why you hit me for? Like, like come on. Like I don't know why people risk being hurt. Now, I mean, I'm happy we won, but imagine if O'Connor got hurt.
yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean,
Just
the team
stand
would be
next to
dead.
him.
The team would be done. We'd
Yeah.
have it's funny you say that because I remember Kevin Stevens saying that when he was on the show, remember? He said, "If I ever blocked a shot, I promise you it was an accident."
Oh yeah, yeah. Exactly.
Uh, we got our first comment,
Oh, here we go.
contributor to the show. I'll put it up here. Uh, R. Allen on YouTube says, "What are we going to look like when 28, 67, and 20 are gone next year?" Uh,
Well,
Joe,
that would
I'll leave that to
that
you.
that would be Pedersen, Raquel, and Lars Eller.
Yep.
Hopefully, we are going to be definitely younger, and we're probably going to be faster. Although Raquel went back to whatever country, I think it's Finland, and worked on his speed. Raquel's played pretty fast this year. Eller's only medium speed. We're going to be a lot younger, and we're probably going to be a little worse. The pain is only beginning. Although I will say, almost anybody would be an upgrade over Pedersen. And my boy Pickering, I haven't checked much in Wilkes-Barre. I'm sure he's playing better in Wilkes-Barre than Mr. Pedersen is up here. And I guarantee you that the Brunet kid is
Yeah,
playing
Bernicki
better
or
in
Bernick
junior.
or whatever.
Yeah, is playing better wherever on earth he's playing than
Yeah,
Pedersen is. Uh,
yeah,
but there'll be a learning curve then as well. But we will be younger. It has to happen because
yeah.
we haven't made the playoffs in 2 years with these guys.
Yeah, we have it, and they were making some, oh, wow, when she was interviewing, what's his name? Majan Piani. I always screw up that name.
Ajapani, come
Yeah,
on, kid.
Maj, yeah, an Italian guy. I messed that one up. But, she said something about, "What's it like being in the Caps Pens rivalry?" I know a lot of these guys have probably been, used to this or something, or he said that, and I was like, I don't know about like like you got Sid, you got Gino, you got Letang, you got Ovi, Tom Wilson, there Carlson. I don't know. Nobody else is used to this. Like it's just a
Well,
bunch of
and what's funny is I don't think Backstrom and Oshie have officially retired, so they could pull um, the Kucherov move of coming in, at playoff
Uh,
game one.
yeah, yeah,
So that would be more old school Capitals. But yeah, everyone says they did such a great job of turning the team over. They did get younger. They got younger because Oshie and Backstrom are on the I forever IR.
yeah, yeah.
And Kuznetsov couldn't keep a straw out of his nose.
It's a really weird way to drink Pepsi. Um,
But
I made that joke just
I
because
want to
Joe
thank
doesn't like.
our listener for the question. Though I hope I answered it. I mean, that's I don't know who they're going to bring in. Hopefully, they'll bring in Pickering and Bernicki, and our defense will look quicker. That's for sure. I think our offense. We're going to lose a lot of guile. Lars Eller makes a lot of really smart hockey plays.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of his. But maybe
yeah,
what we'll lose in guile, we will find in enthusiasm and speed.
yeah. I mean,
We
like you've said many times, we need those third and fourth liners that are living in the hotel across the street. Not working
yeah.
on their beach home. That's a
Our guys
classic.
are living in the old age facility right down the street.
They're on those NSS Life commercials with that guy and
Yeah.
talking about setting up your retirement plan. Um, yeah, I mean, all in all, I thought it was a good game. Other than the second period was awful, and I did not think there was any chance after on a back to back night. Looked like we were running out of steam. So I don't know whatever Sullivan said to them between the second and third period. Um, yeah, you mentioned St. Ivany. I don't know how much ice time he got tonight. I'm sure that's not out yet. Um, but him, I noticed. I thought he was a little bit late, and I've thought this the last couple games. Then tell me what you think. But it looks like he's seeing the play in waiting an extra second to make sure it's there before he does it. Like
I don't mind that if he's not squashed his head against the glass by a forechecker. He can wait that second. I think him and Graves played markedly less tonight than the other
Yep.
four guys. And I really didn't notice Graves, and that is a huge plus.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Carlson was. I thought Carlson and Pedersen were on the ice the whole time. I barely even noticed Letang, and that's kind of hard to do.
Yeah. I'm looking it up right now. I wonder if it'll be that quick.
Yeah, they
Uh,
should have it out there because they have it. They have it by the second period. They have it.
is
You
it
know,
on NHL.com? I know this is riveting, but hey, we're in the podcast world. People are used to this.
no. But we are live. Whatever you want to say though, that this game, Gino said on the post game with Emily Kaplan that they stood around and talked in the third period between periods, and they go, it's 2-2. We got to go get it. We got to play harder. We got to buckle down. Sullivan made this change, and they split the lines, and it worked. Rusty and Gino got a goal. But
Yeah.
it really came down to they kind of played as crappy as they usually do, but Bloomfist saved the day.
Yes. Yes.
He
100%.
made five. I mean, Gino scored. That's fantastic. So we were up 3-2. So it was just a normal case of how can you blow? We're winning with 8 minutes left, and we end up losing 6-3. 6-3. But Bloomfist saved the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking now, by the way. Jack St. Ivany had 16 minutes.
Well,
Feels
that's a
like a lot.
blessed night for Jack. Then he didn't make any mistakes. We didn't notice him.
Yeah. Graves had 16 as well.
What did Carlson had 28? I bet, right?
Let me see here. Scroll down. Eric Carlson had, oh, geez, 21.
What?
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
even. Well, he had a roller coaster ride of a game. It literally seemed like he was always on the ice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Pedersen was always laying on the ice.
I think Pedersen's thinking to himself, like, well, my body's so long, my arms are so long, just lay the stick out, I'll take out half of the zone.
but he's not even doing that anymore. He's going down awkwardly. And he's making the pass like easier. Like
Yeah,
here, like get it over me, like hit the clown, go through the clown's mouth. There's the
yeah,
goal.
yeah. I like just do a nice little chip shot over me. Um, but yeah, no, I guess that is, hey, what about Lindgren for the Caps?
Oh, he
He's
played great.
he's uh, saved 3, maybe 4 goals. Like, uh,
He played. He
he's
played. It was a goaltending duel there for a minute, and that's how wrong I was when I picked the Caps to finish behind the Penguins this year because I thought there's no way Lindgren's going to play as good as he did last year. Apparently, he is.
yeah, yeah. I guess this is the new norm for him.
Yeah, well,
Um,
good for Charlie.
yeah, yeah. And I hate to say this because it's the Caps, but I kind of like their coach. Um,
Car bomb.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think he's a good coach.
You know me, Corey. There's only one team I have room to hate, and that's the
Yeah,
Philadelphia Flyers. There's too much. I can't fill my heart with that much hate. So I just I want everyone to be happy, have a nice life,
yeah,
and
yeah.
the Capitals
Everybody,
to have a nice life. Like I can only hate the Philadelphia Flyers and Ron Hextall.
Ron Hextall. I mean, triple hate at this point because
Well,
you.
I always tweet out on Facebook everything around the holidays, like "Merry Christmas to all except Ron Hextall." Hope everybody has a blessed holiday season except Ron Hextall.
You knew he was a double agent the moment he got hired.
If you heard me on podcast, that's all I said. I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
he's working for the Flyers.
um, but yeah, any other thoughts before we wrap up here on the post game?
I
Closing
think it was
thoughts.
a great win. Coming back home, let's get some fans in the arena. I will be in attendance for the Dallas Stars. And if you think they had to play good against the Penguins, I mean, I'm sorry, against the Capitals, they're gonna have to play 5 times that good against the Stars because the Caps got like 2 good lines. The Stars got 4, and
Yeah,
they got and their goaltender is great, and they have great defensemen. It's a hell of a task, but I like how we're coming in on a high,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
like seeing Rusty back, and maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see. I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah, maybe we'll see Sid get a couple goals on Monday night. The quest
yeah,
for 600 is still alive. It was fun seeing Gino break up the Sid Ovi party too.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, if Sid has anything in his birthday present for you, Joe, it would be number 600 for you to be there live for it.
That'd be fantastic.
Are you going to the second game, or are you just going to the Dallas one?
I'm gonna go to Dallas and Detroit. I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I gotta. I should try and go to a game, but we'll see. The My kids will. If I mention it to my kids, they'll want to go. But if he can get 600 for your birthday, Joe, that's Sir Sidney doing his service for you.
Yeah,
Um,
and I've seen literally all six. Thanks to TiVo and the internet, I think I've seen all 598 of them.
yeah. Well,
I may have
how
missed one
about
or two, but that's about it.
Yeah, and I don't know if there can't be many that I missed either. Yeah, TiVo does it. You're gonna catch it on social media. Did you see they were talking about it tonight? I don't know if Bob Grove's the one that first threw it out there, but Sid has 87 career backhand goals, and we know how he is with his superstitions. Do you think he refuses to take a backhand shot the rest of his career?
Oh, that's fun. That's an interesting question. No, I think competitive Sid. That's an interesting question. What rides his ego or IG more? Competitive Sid or superstitious Sid?
Yeah, yeah. It's the ultimate battle, like to the fight to the death.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Like the
nobody tell
Justice
him if he
League versus
doesn't
the
know.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah, if he doesn't know that he has 87 backhand goals, don't mention it to him. Um, and yeah, and also we got to mention too, Sid with the most face-off wins I mean, it was like 14,000 whatever face-off wins. And you remember, I'm sure, his rookie year, he was not great in the face-off circle. Um, and to find out that he became the all-time leader in face-off wins is impressive.
It's a Sid thing to do, and it's also great that he gets to knock off Patrice Bergeron, one of the most overrated players in the NHL or former NHL players. Yeah, and I
Uh,
stand by that. Kopitar is Kopitar greater than Patrice Bergeron.
Oh, 100%. And he had one of the worst commercials with that when the World Cup of Hockey came in. Do you remember those terrible ESPN commercials with that what did they
No,
call
I know Duncan said always uses the Boston guys because they're from Boston. That I always think Duncan has some good commercials. I don't know if he's any of those.
No, that's yeah, was that Pasta has a good
Pasta's
one.
in one, and McDavid's in one. I think Rat's in one.
Yeah. Um but yeah, no, all in all, I mean, hey, it was a good game and Ovechkin, no goals tonight. Selfishly, I kind of want him to I want him to break Gretzky's record against us. Um I think that'd be a cool moment.
Oh,
Did Sid
I don't want that. I don't want to see that highlight forever. You'll see the highlight forever.
I don't know. I said, yeah, but
I want it to be against the Flyers.
oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. I could
Yeah.
take that. I
Actually, no. I wanted to go against Shesterkin, so I can see Shesterkin
yes.
getting beat for eternity.
He's my least favorite person, I think, in the NHL. Like that isn't hasn't done terrible things, you know. Like there's some there's some people in the NHL that we hate because they're not good people, but he like ever since he waved goodbye to us, uh
Yeah, and if Sid didn't get concussed, we've gone over this a million times. We win that series, but
and if Evan Rodriguez doesn't
oh yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
I've kind of forgiven Erod,
yeah.
kind of, but not no hate, no hate. And
No,
it's
no
coming on the holiday season.
yeah.
Any more questions from our
No, I got,
writers list?
no more questions. Anybody, if you wanna we're gonna try and do this, we can't promise a ton because I mean, Joe's a comedian and works nights and, um, you know, it's just,
This is fun though. I want to thank everyone for listening,
yeah, yeah.
and thanks for listening to the regular podcast. And we'll get the big guy back, and we'll be in a good mood. We'll have a happier podcast now. Imagine if we lost this game. What next week
Oh.
would be like?
Yeah, it washes out. It's the palate cleanser that gets us away from that horrible 5-1 loss. You know that Star Wars meme where, they ask the question, like, "You did that, right?" And then, like, it's him staring at her again, like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and somebody made the meme of, like, we outshot them 41-18. It's like, "You didn't lose 5-1, right?"
Well, even Chicken Parm on the broadcast said, like, yeah, the shots, when you're losing, but if you're giving up 2-on-1s, does it really matter if you outshoot somebody? But
No, nope, nope. Well, hey, that'll do it for us. And hey, we're going to give an extra shout out to the Reg Dunlap of Insurance. Go to Bill Neofis and check him out. This isn't
oh,
part of his,
absolutely.
but hey, you know,
Sure,
we're
Bill's
pumped.
happy right now.
Oh yeah, Bill's probably about to throw on a Carrot Top, stand up, and enjoy himself. Maybe he threw some money down on the game because I know he might be the gambling type. That's what I've heard. So well, thank you, Mr. Neofis, and yeah, look out for some stuff. We got a couple cool things that are in the works here, guys. So thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you guys later.